On the show today, it's Wonder Women's Day. So women folks, I've got you, and well, I hope you've got me too. Okay, so if you know me very well, you know that I don't like stress. Hence my zeal to always come up with tricks that makes my life easier, especially in my favorite place in the house, which is the kitchen. And so today I'll be sharing with you a few kitchen tricks. Well, I'm here for you. I got you. All right. So first of all, there's I don't know if this happens to you, but this happens to me often where, you're slicing like tomatoes or cucumber, and then it keeps sticking to your knife. Has that happened to you before? That happens to me all the time. So the trick that I use basically is I get a rubber band. If you could also use the ones with the flat surface, it would also really help. So what I do basically is, this knife basically doesn't help, but what I do is, so what you do is you wrap the rubber band. So it's always advisable to go with knives that have a flat surface. I don't know if someone can pass me that knife in the kitchen so that I could actually show them how it works. This one has a pointy surface, so a pointy edge, so it won't really help with what I'm about to show you. Okay, so while that's happening, thank you very much. Okay, so this is also the same thing, but there's also one with a flat surface. Anyways, I'll show you that later. But whilst we are moving on to other things, next up, how do you preserve your apples? Yes, remember where you have to slice up your apples and then they turn brown? Has that happened to you before? That happens to me a lot. So here's a trick that works. So to preserve your apples after you've cut them open, you take water, you pour it into a bowl. Yeah. Then you slice your apples into little chunks like I have here. Thank you very much, maybe. Like I have here. You put it in your water. It could be warm, it could be cold. Then add a little bit of honey. You could also use vinegar. Vinegar really also helps. But in this case, I'm going to add honey. And you know what this also does? It also adds a little bit of sweet taste to my apple. I know, I'm such a sweet tooth, and it's okay. So I'm just going to put this in to my water, stir. And then you could preserve it in the fridge for as long as, so it's going to keep your apple looking fresh, white, and good to go whenever you're ready to eat it. Next up, this particular hack I would have loved to show it in the kitchen, but either ways, I'm still going to tell you how it works. So what do you do where you're cooking, boiling yams or spaghettis, and the pot starts to boil over? Has that happened to you before? Okay, how do you prevent that? I know taking off the lid sometimes helps, but another trick that I usually always use is if you have a wooden spoon, you just place it, you take off the cover, your pot lid, and then you place your spoon across it like I'm doing here. So let's assume that this is your wooden spoon and this is your pot. What you do is, while it is boiling over, you place your wooden spoon across your pot. So what it does is basically just, evaporates, and all that spilling over and messing up your cooker doesn't happen at all. All right. Now, some of us are always on YouTube learning how to cook this, how to cook that, while you're using your phone, and then you're trying to wrap so much is happening. How do you prevent your phone from getting, stained, or from while your hand is dirty and then you're having to scroll through and look through, how do you prevent that from happening? So basically what I do is I just place my phone in a ziploc bag. You could also use a transparent nylon bag so that you can also, view what's happening on your phone screen as it happens. I mean, that works all the time. So you put your phone in a ziploc bag, you seal it up. And so whilst, you just place it beside you while you're, cooking and putting together whatever ingredients that you're working with. So some of these hacks are always useful and they always help whenever and every single time. So I would like to ask the ladies in the kitchen though, what is that go-to trick that always works for them whenever they're in the kitchen cooking? Mary and Tokwe. What's that one kitchen trick that's your go-to? Whenever anything just, maybe you need to just help you, with ease of cooking. What's that one trick that works for you?
The simplest thing for me is to just, let's say I'm boiling meat and I want to find out if it's soft. Some people use fork, I use my teeth.
You mean you eat the
I
meat?
eat the meat.
Wow.
So I always have, so what I do is when I'm cooking, I like to have tiny pieces of meat. If I'm boiling chicken, for example, I'll have tiny pieces of chicken so that those are the ones I'll just chew. If they are very soft, I give it a bit because, of course, it has to get to the bigger ones, like penetrate. So that's my kitchen.
In that chicken regard.
Okay.
I
guess it's different hacks for different folks. Anyway, one last one before we wrap this up quickly. Where you have like a cereal in a bowl, or basically if you're just trying to, pour liquid in a bowl and it just splashes everywhere. Or that could be very annoying, especially if it is with liquid content that has milk in it, or some stuff that could basically stain your surroundings or even stain your clothes. So basically, what you do to avoid all of that splash is you get your spoon, and of course I've got my liquid contents in here. So you turn your spoon upside down like I have here. That's to the flat surface, that's the flattest surface. And then you pour whatever contents that you have in your cup into your plate nicely. So that what happens is it avoids all that splashes and it just makes it easier. Everything just goes into the plate seamlessly. All right, and that's it for Life Hacks for today. Thank you guys for joining, and please, 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 keep those comments coming. I'd like to hear from you. There's still so much more on the show, guys. Stay with us.